Welcome to Metaphysical Soul Speak. I'm your host, Elena Fox Starks. Hey guys, I hope you're doing really well in this moment in time, and that whenever and wherever you happen to be in this diverse, multidimensional universe, that you are paying attention to the astrology and the energies and your cosmic Ascension flu symptoms. We talked about this yesterday, and it's worth mentioning again today because more is happening, and I don't exactly know where in the cosmos this energy is coming from, but it is a mother. It's been nuts. Almost about 2 hours ago, I came upstairs to do the show, and I thought, boy, I'm feeling really tired. I'm going to set a little alarm. And well, now it's 2 hours later. I mean, I just slept right through. I guess the alarm went off. I don't remember. It was right next to my head, and I don't remember shutting it off. I slept through it. This is crazy. This energy is absolutely off the charts, and it's going to make you want to sleep. That's all. It's going to make you want to sleep. So I'm going to get into it. First of all, it's Mercury freaking retrograde again. Just when you thought you're getting ready to get up off the mat, everything's going to be fine this time. At this late date in 2020, I'm going to do it. Raring to go. Got all that energy, and whammy. Slammy and no thank you, mammy. I mean, this has been... This energy is freaking crazy. This is the year that beats us all up in one way or the other. So I'm going to read to you from Pure Intention 555. The energy update she put 17 hours ago. Let me think. I think that's what she wrote. Why am I... It says September 30th. That's not right. Where was I? Oh, okay. See, it's just Mercury retrograde. Breakdown in communication. Breakdown in everything. I saved her... Here we go. This must be it. Yeah, here's the one 17 hours ago. She put 3 of them out that look identical. I'm like, that's not the right one. All right. Yeah, I had saved some things because I wanted to read them to you. So, Pure Intention 555, and you can look this up on Instagram if you want these daily updates. I don't always read them. So, energy update for the past 24 hours from her perspective. Exhausted. Yes, absolutely. Clumsy. Dropping things. Tripping. Not so much I've had that one, but you guys might have. I did have this, though, before. A few weeks ago. I just thought it was me, so I didn't mention it. So, hey, I mean, if weird stuff like that starts happening to you, it's like, you could probably, think it's just maybe the collective and not only you, right? Feeling disorientated. Yes, very disoriented. I don't think disorientated is a word, but disoriented, yes. Yeah. Dizziness, spaciness, feeling slightly disconnected. Oh, slightly. Yeah, a little bit more than slightly. Body stiffness, yes. Increased sweating, not so much, but feeling hot, yeah. Body temperature fluctuations, hot then cold, and trouble adjusting to temperatures, yeah. Yeah. Energy pulsing in the hands and feet. Yeah, you know what? That's weird. I have had that. If you guys have had that as well, have you had that? See? Mercury goes retrograde and communications break down all around. Pressure in your temples, one side at a time and bouncing back and forth. That's an interesting one. I haven't had that. But I think I do have pressure in my temples a little bit. There's just so much pressure, so many places that one seems to be the least of my worries. Headaches lingering. I don't have that, thank you God. But my upper back, middle back hurts quite a bit right now. She also says your appetite might vary back and forth. Might be very back and forth. Drink water, a lot of water. Yes. Oh my God, I can't stress that enough. I've been drinking a lot of water and pissed off because our water just got turned off during my little cosmic nap I just had. So I woke up burning up. Like, I freaking can't stand it. It feels like in the middle of summertime in Chico, California. Not here, because summertime here is like 70 degrees. Chico is like 100. And it's like, I was burning up. I'm like, I gotta go splash water on my face. Go in there, and the water isn't. I'm like, son of a bitch. We don't have any water again. Oh my God. Glad tidings that I paid $60 extra to help them fix their freaking $60 million pipes. You know, they charge us all this extra money, and now suddenly we don't get water at night. It doesn't make any sense to me. I don't know, when the system breaks down, it's just super annoying. All right. We are now at Mercury retrograde in Scorpio. I don't necessarily like the sound of this, you know. It's crazy. There is a little post I thought was cute with butterflies, and maybe they're freaking moths. For 2020, it should be moths. The ugly cousins of butterflies. Oh, God. My stomach hurts so much right now. I ate chiviles. It's the first time I've ever had chiviles here in Ecuador. Not to be confused with Mexican chilaquiles. But chiviles, they're a Cañari treat. And, oh my God, I only had one, little tiny, very tiny, but full of lard, and I'm gonna definitely have maybe a quarter cup of vinegar before I go to sleep, mixed with water, because this is crazy. My stomach is just like all bloated now. I'm like, ugh. I had chicken and potatoes and then one chivile. I wanted to try it. It's a Cañari. The Cañari people here in Ecuador lived here in peace and harmony before. Okay, I think that's a friggin' lie. I think there were the peaceful people that lived here, and then the Cañari came and took over. And they lived here for hundreds of years. And then the Incan came and took over. And then the Spanish conquistadors came and took over the Incans. And then the Incans were defeated. One of the brothers fell in love with Ecuador and her peoples, and told his brother that he has to come here and fight with him, and whoever wins. So if the man who was here, living here from the Incan Empire, if he wins against his brother, then Ecuador goes free. And if the brother wins, then we remain the Incan Empire. And what happened was he killed his brother, and Ecuador went free. And 200 years ago, this year, Ecuador fought for freedom against the Spanish conquistadors. And 2 years from now will be the 200th marked anniversary of our freedom here in Ecuador. So that's an energy that's going around right now. And Chiviles is just part of the tradition, I guess. Baby guaguas, the other thing. I don't think I mentioned this before. I'm going to put a picture. I haven't ordered this yet, but baby guaguas are, I might have even mentioned yesterday, damn. It's like the whole energy of just foggy-headedness and not really remembering. The baby guaguas, and I have mentioned on the show last year, is at this time of year, you have to remember all the babies that have died in the world. And whether you have yourself, if you are a woman and you've ever had a miscarriage or an abortion or had a baby that died of sudden infant death syndrome or anything, anything. This is the time of year that, at least in Ecuador, there's a tradition of you buy these little pastries. They don't taste very good, but they're kind of like a very sweet, dry bread. I think they're supposed to be better than that, but they just really aren't. But maybe it's supposed to be an unpleasant memory, in a way. And you're supposed to feel love and say prayers for all the babies in the world that have died. And I think that part of this horrible tasting sweetbread and it's shaped like a little baby in a blanket, and it's got cute, bright colors, and it's to remember all the little babies in the world. And if you, when you eat this and you say prayers for all the babies, then what this will do for you is that you will not be haunted by the babies in the coming year. And possibly this is out of guilt, something I noticed at least in Peru, and probably throughout South America, is when a baby dies or gets sick, it's like the parents feel a deep sense of regret and shame. So this might be a way of alleviating that if a baby dies on your watch, And I think that maybe that's an energy that goes throughout the whole world, just taking a wild freaking guess. But this is baby guagua season because Day of the Dead is coming up. But the whole month of October, we remember the dead babies. It's like such a sweet and romantic tradition. Here I'm the angel of death, and I'm like reveling in it. I'm like, ooh, I love this. It's really cool. It's like eerie and spooky and so Halloween-y, and it's like the Halloween-y season, But this is the time, though. This is the time too, because maybe it's just because adults always get remembered, and the babies aren't always spoken about, Like I had a friend who, my next door neighbor, she was pregnant. Everyone was super happy for her, and then she had a miscarriage or something, and I think it was a miscarriage, but she was like kind of far along, and it was like no one could talk about it. We just brought her a lot of food, and we all sat around together crying, and I didn't even know why. I was just being empathic, I'm just like, oh, I was like 8 or something, and I was just like, and it wasn't until later when my mom said something, well, remember when baby Stevie died? And I was like, what are you talking about? And then she told me. I'm like, yeah, I remember her being pregnant. And then everyone was super sad, and then nobody really said anything again. And she never did have a baby. And I thought, well, maybe she just got fat, me, 8-year-old, you just don't know what the hell's going on. So I was like super, super unaware. I was aware of my emotions and my empathy towards others, but I was not aware of really what the hell's going on in the adults' lives. And they never spoke to us anyway. So, children should be seen and not heard. That was something I heard all the freaking time. But anyway, I did put a picture of my dad, by the way, from the 1970s up. That was during his Burt Reynolds phase. It is pretty freaking hysterical. I put a bunch of pictures up. So my most recent post on Instagram, at mermaidgirl888, just go there and you have to swipe all the way to the left to see my daddy back when he was in the 1970s. And I'm going to tell you a funny story about that day, about that picture, is when we were at my Aunt Billy's house, and we were waiting for my Aunt Billy to come home, and my cousin Gina was there, and she says, I'm going to go take a shower, so why don't you guys just, make yourself comfortable, and, my mom will be home soon. And we're like, okay, fine. And it was kind of uncomfortable because we were poor-ish, middle Americans. Middle Americans, what does that mean? Middle class, I guess, but lower middle class. I don't know. My parents both worked, and we were always struggling for money. It's like, how the hell can they both work 40 to 60 hours a week, and we're still freaking struggling for money? It was ridiculous. It was a ridiculous time. A lot of inflation, And here my aunt was a self-made millionaire, and so we go to her mansion, and it was just like freaking damn, And now I look back, and it's like, it was a huge house. But for me, holy man, it was a mansion. It really wasn't, but for, having grown up in apartments, and then later we had our own house, and that was like a big deal. And our house was really, really tiny. And then my aunt has these mansion-like ceilings that were like 20 foot or more ceilings. And she threw giant pool parties, and her house is gorgeous. My cousin lives there now. When my aunt died, she left it to my cousin, and I think she and the boys live there now with, her husband. So, anyway, where was I even going with this? Oh yeah. So we're at my cousin's house. My cousin's like, she's, back when we were teenagers. So she goes to take a shower, and we're just stuck in the kitchen, and we feel weird and uncomfortable. Like, we don't want to go to the living room. We don't know what to do. We're like, do we just go sit down? It was just weird. Like, is the housekeeper home? Is she going to tell on us? And my dad's like, I'm hungry. She said, we're going to have lunch, and we're not really early, and I don't know what happened. And maybe we got our wires crossed and the time's wrong. It's probably friggin' Mercury Retrograde. And so he's like, screw it. I'm going to go in the pantry. And my aunt's pantry was like the size of our kitchen, filled with enough food to feed an army during World War II. It was a huge pantry full of food. And so my dad went in there and got what he could only see in the dark because he didn't know where the light switch was. Beef jerky. So he pulls out the beef jerky, and he's sitting there eating it, and he's like, God, this is really weird beef jerky. Why would they buy it? I don't get it. And he's eating it. It's like all the way down to the bottom. He's like, this stuff is like really chewy. Maybe it expired. And my stepmom's like, go get the box. Maybe we should see. And it was dog beef jerky. So this picture is taken of my father right after he ate dog jerky. And so now the whole world knows the day my dad was hungry enough to eat dog beef jerky. And you could tell, my aunt, they really revered their animals, and you could tell because she used to feed her cat on the counter, and in the background to the right of my father on the counter in this picture, there is a bowl with just a few little bits of kibble for the cat. Because that's where we were feeding, I think it was Schnookums, was the name of my cousin's cat at the time. A beautiful gray and white Persian kitty cat, Schnookums, that was her name. And that was before my cousin had a bunny called Love, because Love was blind. She literally found a blind bunny at the shelter and named it Love. Oh my God, it was like the saddest, most adorable, Victorian-ish, tragic creature. It would jump on everybody and run around the bed in the morning and then take off because it couldn't see because it was always freaked out. Poor little thing. But yeah, Love was blind. Another gray bunny. She always had like gray animals for some reason. Anyway, all right. So Mercury retrograde in Scorpio. I just had to tell you that's the story. The stories behind the background stories are more hilarious than the pictures themselves. And that was during my dad's Burt Reynolds phase, where he was just like growing the beard and the mustache and trying to be like, you know, embracing his sexy hairy chest that he thought that was so hot. And then women would sometimes touch his hairy chest. Freaked me out. Totally freaked me out when I was a kid. I was like, what the fuck why is she touching my dad's? Why? Ew, you know? But that was my dad's, you know, Burt Reynolds did a lot for hairy men back in the day. I mean, he was a sexy man and everyone's like, oh, well, he could pull it off. So, gotta get myself a caveman, I guess. Yeah. I mean, so Burt Reynolds, you know, God bless him and, you know, rest in peace, Dad and Burt Reynolds. I bet they've probably already hung out together. But yeah, that was my dad and his crazy pants. I don't even know where the hell he got those pants. It was like their golf course pants. I think he might have gone golfing that day in a cowboy hat. Anyway, I just, you know. Oh, well, anyway, the 70s, dude, we got to stop reminiscing about them right now. All right, Mercury retrograde in Scorpio, we've got, these are things that this person associated with this. Reprocess outdated thinking, communicate with yourself more than others, slow down your reactions, look for the opportunity to build better, trust the redirect, and if it's not working, don't force it. Well, that's all good advice. And that, again, was Moonlight Energy Healing. I don't even think I follow this person. I just found this. Moonlight Energy Healing. I thought that was interesting. Yeah, so speaking of 70s. And here we go again. A Girl in the Universe. This is another one, brand new. I never followed this person. I don't think I'm following her yet. She says massive energies coming in. Yeah, there are. And it's weird because when you go to spaceweather.com, you don't really have the backup that proves it, except for the aurora borealis. And what this person says makes a lot of sense because it feels like we're having massive upgrade energy coming in. And just wait till I tell you what's going on with the aurora borealis today. Holy crap. All right. So here we go. This person says crown and face pressure, headaches and nausea, and upgrades galore. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. I've been out of it all day. And right now I'm like burning up. I'm feeling waves of energy going through my body, it's what happens when I smoke a lot of weed, and I haven't smoked today, but when I smoke a ton of weed and I just feel this it's like the energy, the sound that I imagine my body's making, like, you know, it's kind of like a sometimes I have to make a sound. I can't express it in words what I'm feeling, but kind of like almost like I'm a piano and the universe is playing me. You know, plucking my tunes all the way, like my aura, my chakras start to vibrate in these wild ways, and it's psychedelic. I don't know. It's like an acid flashback, and that's what I'm feeling right now. It's just, I'm not having a flashback right now, but it feels like that energy of energy waves and waves and waves, like waves crashing over my body at the beach. It feels like that, like from the top down, repeatedly, and it's like hot, vibrating energy. And it's making me feel tired. It's making me feel a little strange, disoriented, disconnected, emotionally kind of blah and out of it. And I've been feeling this for hours today. So this person says, huge energy update happening now. The magnetosphere is popping as energies hit Gaia from the wrong side of our system. I don't know what she means by that, but she says when energies come in from the opposite side of the sun, those are upgrade energies. I don't think okay, yeah. I see it coming from there too, or I feel it coming from there too, but I don't think that's wrong. I just think it's coming from the main sun, the central sun in the universe, not just through a soul, our portal of, our sun. But she says you might be feeling like there's a big bag of sand sitting on top of your head. Yeah, I feel like it's also sitting on my chest and my stomach, my liver. I just feel like it's like, ugh. It's just a heavy energy. And she says you might be experiencing sinus-like feeling in the front of your face. Well, that's where your sinuses are. That's kind of hilarious. Yeah, I'm like totally nausea, fatigue, sensitive skin. And why are the energies here? It's because you're being upgraded, obviously. She also says to lessen the symptoms, allow them to flow through you. Like we have a frickin' choice. And you are you are the keep of you. Maybe she means keeper. Imagine the energies flowing through your body. See them going in your crown and flowing down out through your feet and into the ground. Yeah, that's actually good. That's good advice. So anyway, then she puts a few other things, but so other people are noticing it. It's not just me, thank God. Energy update from Moonlight Energy Healing. And she says, we are now having 5 planets in retrograde, guys. We have Uranus, Mars, Mercury, Chiron, and Neptune in retrograde. The planets are working with our subconscious mind. You're going to be getting vivid dreams and information through dream time. Oh, yes. Big time, for sure. You might be sleeping more and feeling more tired than usual. There's a lot of cosmic energy at play in October. October is a month of purging. That's why it can feel exhausting. Remember to drink a lot of water. There we go with the water, and I've already said this yesterday from my own report, right? Listen to your body, rest more, keep a dream journal, look for symbols, patterns, numbers, and themes in your dreams. And she gives a beautiful, this is from Golden Age Alchemy, by the way, and they give a beautiful affirmation. I am purging all energy that no longer serves me to release. There you go. This is the time to banish the motherfuckers that have done you harm magically too, by the way. If you ever want to bind somebody, which is, I don't recommend it. It could come back on you karmically, but this is time to banish people from your life if you don't need them or want them, or if they're bugging you, I don't mean if someone's just annoying you this week, but I mean, if somebody is like a serious, like narcissist who just won't leave you the hell alone, this is a time to banish them, right? Banish them, not actually banish them, but, just keep them from blowing up your phone or, sliding into your DMs, as they say. Sounds so gross to me. So, I don't know. These are some of the spiritual guidance thingies that I came across on Instagram, because I do mention social media accounts that I think are worthy enough to, be interested. Anyway, yeah, that's it. I did pull out the 4 of Swords from Everyday Witch Tarot. In fact, Archangel Uriel and I had a hell of a time, like almost a half hour, just shuffling the deck. I'm like, just pull one out, Uriel, and 10 cards would fly out, or 5 or 6 cards would flip backwards in the deck while I'm shuffling. I'm like, that's not what I asked, dude. It was like ridiculous. It's like Mercury retrograde communication is bad, and in October, during the month of October, and we're still living 6 days worth of spiritual growth per day. It's crazy. Today's been a crazy day as far as all this energy. And what's weird is my son and I look forward to eating things that the neighbors make. And we were feeling kind of tired, and we're like, we didn't really want to make food. Let's just try to make, get something from the neighbor. And we were waiting and we're waiting and we're waiting. And one of the neighbors is like selling rubbing alcohol, and another neighbor is selling like hats. It's like the hats that are like the embedded hat and scarf combination. Right when the weather gets hot, they're trying to sell us hats. Could have sold us hats a week ago when we're all freezing at night, and now we're burning up. So, but we're getting irritated. Like, my son's like, look again. It's got to be something good. Tell me something good. and we're just like, this is where's all the good food? A couple days ago we got this lemon chiffon, or not lemon chiffon, but it was lemon, I think Catalonia pie. Oh my God, it was so good. We had all this good stuff. We're like, oh man. I mean, half the time I don't even want to know what the people are selling. But today we're like, wonder what they're selling today. And it took all day long to get the chiviles. Like finally, like the whole day, nobody sold any food related anything. And then the security guard that we all pay like $5 a month to watch us. His wife was making chiviles, so we're like, yeah, we'll buy their chiviles, and they put like scrambled egg and cheese in them. They're like morning chiviles, so they sold it to us at night so that we would have breakfast in the morning. I'm like, that's so sweet. I love this community. It's a really sweet community. We're the only Americans here out of like 130 houses. We're the only ones that are not from Ecuador. And they accept us, and it's cool. We're glad about that. We love them. And the kids here are so well behaved and polite, very sweet. And like I said, we have the wolves outside. But I've been dealing more with my familiar, my little guy. He's just adorable as hell. We have named him. We haven't done the official naming ceremony, but my son named him Knowledge. He seems like a very wise little kitty cat. We're pretty certain that he's a Lyran hiding in a cat body. He's very, very smart, so it's kind of like, I half expect Salem the talking cat kind of energy. Like the day he looks at me and speaks in human language, I'm going to probably fall out of my chair and laugh my ass off. But he's a pretty smart cat. He was receptive yesterday. He's still a baby. He's only 8 weeks old. But yesterday I asked if he wanted to learn how to bless things. And I showed him what I do. And I put my hand over things and asked God to bless things. And so he went to all my things and put his little paw over my things to bless things. And I thought that was adorable. And he tells me when it's time to rest, he'll grab me and like lay down in the crook of my arm like it's time for us to do nothing together. I love that. So, we will watch a TV show together. I try to watch The Worst Witch with him because there's black cats in there, and he loves to watch the cats. So we're getting down in our little routine. That's my little familiar report. my little Knowledge, he's super, super cute. He does the scaredy cat Halloween fraidy cat poses like all the time. He is like the perfect spooky cat for the spooky witch. And I was noticing in my Everyday Witch Tarot, on the back of all the cards, there's a broom and a witch's hat and a black hat and a black cat. And I'm like, that's funny because I got both a black hat and a black cat this week. I'm like, I'm just going to blame the Everyday Witch Tarot for this because it must have influenced my subconscious mind. And now I'm embracing and embodying this witchiness inside of me. But I guess I should have embraced it fully a long time ago. And well, here we go. In fact, even in this, there's like people with striped clothes. And I've been wearing this hoodie that was made from the Kanyar people. And it's maroon and black stripes. It's very witchy, and it's got like a pointy. It's a hoodie, but the hoodie itself is pointy. It's very witch-like. I love it. It's really warm, and I wear it when it's very cold. Sometimes at night I'll wear it over my pajamas. But anyway, there you have it. I want to get into the space weather news. Oh, wait, before we do that, what does the Four of Swords mean? Duh. Everyday Witch Tarot. Okay, this is what it says. To sleep, perchance, to dream. It's totally perfect. In fact, this witch in this picture is sleeping so soundly that the cobwebs are growing around her witch's hat in her room. And it's just, her window's open. There's a crescent moon with a star on the other side. I can only imagine is Venus. And that's what it's like out right now. The moon is a crescent moon. Venus is right in front of it, just like the Islamic symbol, which is very sacred in Islam. And because it's something beautiful that God created, and everything in Islam is beautiful because, in nature is beautiful because God created it. And everything is honored in nature. So this is interesting that's in this card, and this is a card that came out. Very weird. So I wanted to bring it up because what's going on in the picture of this card is what's going on outside in our daily world. So, Four of Swords, are you resting or are you retreating? We all need to pull back from the world from time to time and take a break. Catch our breath and regroup. The trick is to know the difference between the lack of movement, and that's positive and beneficial, and the lack of movement that means we're stuck in a state of suspended animation. Yeah, well, that's important, I guess. Things to consider. Depending on where this card falls in a reading, maybe it's a suggestion that you need to rest and refresh your spirit. Give yourself time and space to renew your body, mind, and spirit. And alternately, it might indicate you're stuck in a rut, spinning your wheels when you should be taking action. So if you're tired and overwhelmed, or are you running away from making tough choices or taking decisive action that you know is needed? Is there someone in your life who is holding you back, or whose lack of action has a negative effect on your current circumstances? This card indicates that they are stuck and probably not going to change. So do you need a rest or a wake-up call? Well, I don't know, guys. I'm going to tell you right now, I think what it is that we need is we just need a rest. I just feel that might be. If you're stuck in a rut and you feel like it, then you got to get yourself out of there. But I don't know. I feel like I just thought of something really hilarious. What if I did a meme of rutting season and the moose or the deer, they're battling it out, and it says, "Are you stuck in a rut?" Oh my God, that's like that'd be a T-shirt. It's a perfect meme. Okay, for like nerds in the Midwest, but in Canada, right? Are you stuck in a rut? Holy shit, man. Why do I think about this stuff when I'm doing other things? Okay. Me and my overactive mind. See? My mind is never stuck in a rut. It's just, So, yeah, I'm having this sinus issue. And it's a cosmic stuff. I don't feel like it's allergies, even though my throat is also swollen a little bit. I just feel like it's this cosmic energy stuff. I keep drinking water, and it feels like it's never enough. I'm going to have to drink more during the break. Have you guys just ever had, in the past week, where you're just sitting there normal during the day, wide awake, and then you're getting morning breath throughout the day? That purging through lungs and breath, that's another Ascension symptom that's going on right now. You might not have all of them. You might have some of them. If you're new to the show and new to the spiritual stuff and you're just waking up and you're hearing this and you're like, well, if I don't have all of them, does that mean I'm not evolving or ascending correctly? No, it does not mean that. It means that if it's an issue or something, see, the way I look at it, it's like your body, your auras, your chakras, your mental, spiritual, your Pepsi, basically, your physical body, emotional body, psychological body, and your spiritual body, which is also called your astral body or your etheric body, depending on who you are and what century you live in. You're almost like a filter for the energies. Like the energies will drag on you when it snags on an issue, you need to still heal. Maybe. That's quite possible. So crying syndrome, if you miss somebody, you're going to have maybe lungs and throat and sinus issues, the crying syndrome. And you could go back last year to my episode called Body Syndromes, and you can find out what all this means, like where, when you get affected in different parts of your body, what does it mean? So I did a whole show on that last year. And so if you have an emotional thing that you block, it shows up physically. And see, here we go. Maybe the volcano's going off again. I don't even know. But, yeah, I feel like I'm like a wreck right now with this. And I can't even put water on my face. It's so annoying. I do have a little bit of water here I can drink. I have my drinking water, but it really bugs me that I don't have the water, just running water. I pay these guys enough. Although last month, I guess as an excuse, I don't know if it's an excuse or what, but the government fully subsidized all of our water. We did not have a water bill last month. But does that give them the right to abuse us and not give us water at night? I don't know. But then I heard that there was a break in one of the pipes, so there's a break in the whole system. Anyway, so if you don't get all the Ascension symptoms, it doesn't mean that you're not getting all of the points. It's not like you're not going to ascend because, I didn't get the sinus one, so no, it doesn't mean that. You're okay. If you don't get any of these, that's okay too. If you're here listening to this and you're having spiritual awakenings anyway, you're still ascending, you're still evolving, you're learning, you're growing, you're changing, everything is fine. You don't have to have them all. You might have all of them. You might have 5 out of 20 of them. You might have, 20 out of 25. But one thing is for certain, we are all changing and growing and learning, and a lot of us are getting the same symptoms as each other. So that's why it started to be notated. So don't worry and don't panic if it's not happening to you, or if it didn't happen to you yet, but it's going to happen next week, or if it happened last week already. A lot of these I don't get anymore, but a lot of them I do get, the exhaustion for sure. And it doesn't mean that it's something emotionally you haven't worked on yet. Sometimes it does mean that. And sometimes it's just that your DNA itself is changing and growing and evolving, and that's exhausting. It's like we're brand new babies, and we're butterflies emerging from the pupa, and we're like totally exhausted because we used to be worms, and now we have wings and we're flying. It takes a lot of energy to do that. So that's kind of what we're going through right now. We're kind of in our chrysalis stage, right? We're starting to emerge. And it's okay. Everything's going to be amazing. But it's just it's tiring right now. It's exhausting. Anyway, spaceweather.com, we're going to talk about that. Right now, the solar wind speed is 288.8 kilometers per second. Well, I like those numbers. 888, there it is. Angel number for the day. If you get the Angel Numbers app that's purple and pink, it's free. Just look up Angel Numbers. You can look up all the wild numbers that are lining up for you. And there's so many, I've been just getting so many, almost overwhelmingly so. So, God put a big vagina in the sky. I'm just going to say it. What everyone's thinking. If you go to spaceweather.com, you're going to think the same thing. It just looks like a big fat vagina in the sky. I've never seen anything in my life like this. Rare red auroras. Arctic photographer Ryan Elzine sees auroras all the time in Utsjoki, Finland. But the auroras he just saw last night were different. They were red, he says, almost only red. Well, he's too polite to say it looks like a big fat pussy in the sky. But I'm going to say it because, oh my God, it's like, what the hell is happening up there? He says, rarely have I seen anything like this before. He said he had to double check the white balance on his camera to make sure nothing was wrong. But it was the same color temperature as on all the other Northern Lights pictures. So later, he says, we were treated to the usual swirls of green and pink nitrogen fringe. See, that's when the magnetosphere is cracked open and all of this energy, cosmic radiation, is being poured into our planet, and it hits different points of, also it's the Orionids meteor showers also sparking the magnetosphere is open and sparking our upper atmosphere. And so all the different colors, it has to do with different chemical compounds that are touched by debris and plasma and gamma rays and etc. So all the cosmic radiation. Anyway, so normally aurora borealis are like green. I've seen them blue, turquoise, pink, green, purple, yellow, white, every color of the rainbow. Literally. I used to live in Minnesota, and my boyfriend and I used to just sit out there in the summertime just watching, every moment we could. Oh, we were always outside. We'd watch, even thunderstorms were fun to watch go across the plains. It was very interesting. Very entertaining. Anyway, let's see. Trying to see. They say, for some reason unknown to us, the solar wind on October 12th excited oxygen at higher altitudes than usual, and it gave the rare red auroras their chance to shine. And that's the thing. We're not even supposed to be getting solar winds. There's been no coronal openings in the sun. There still isn't. And here we're getting these wild energies. And then this other person that we just read, what did she say? She feels that the energy is coming from the other side of the sun towards us. And that's what's hitting the magnetosphere. So you see how the spirituality and the science meet in the middle on my show. This is just because I'm always looking for the scientific explanation for what we're physically feeling, right? And we're all energy sensitive. Our auras have been excited by whatever the hell is coming into our atmosphere. That's what's making us exhausted, right? So, yeah, this is like nuts. This picture, it looks like a vagina. It's odd. You guys got to see it and let me know. The neutron counts are high. It's gone up by 0.2% in the past 48 hours. That's the cosmic radiation. No significant... there's no noctilucent clouds anymore. Nothing significant facing us from the sun. Mars is now at opposition of the sun. Of course, that also would make us very sleepy and lazy and tired energy. That's going on. The NASA all-sky cameras in the all-sky fireball network have reported only 8 fireballs. 7 were sporadic. 1 was from the Orionid meteor shower. Today's disclosurenews.it number is 18. Was the highest hertz frequency they saw for the whole day. Not very much going on over there in Italy, but the Heart Math Institute actually had some numbers from the 11th. We're always 2 days behind now with them for some reason, but I'll take it. So basically on Sunday, California was at 74 hertz frequency. This is the Schumann Resonance report, by the way. And Hofuf, Saudi Arabia was at 67 hertz frequency. Remember, 40 is the fifth dimension. 112 hertz frequency was what they saw in Lithuania. 0 in Alberta, Canada, and she just has not come up off the mat yet. She will. Canada is usually very high vibration. So, in Alberta. So I don't know what's going on there now, but it's 0. In Northland, New Zealand, they were seeing 50 hertz frequency. And and here's the winner chicken dinner, baby. Honolulu, South Africa was out 230 hertz frequency, so they're vibing the highest apparently. I would love, it costs $15,000 to $20,000 to set up a Schumann Resonance station where you have all the equipment and where you could see and report and monitor every single day, every hour, what's happening with the hertz frequency, the Schumann Resonance. I wish I had the money and like my own house and stuff to do this, because there is no report for South America, like at all, for any part of this continent that I live on. So, and all we have in North America is Alberta, Canada, and California, and I'm sure that it fluctuates from city to city. It seems like it really should. That there'd be other factors involved with this Schumann resonance, not just an earth-wide thing. Otherwise, there'd be the same exact number all over. So that's why I read it from 7 different cities. So anyway, where are we at? All right, so I'm going to take a break, guys. Go drink more water. It's like really a morning breath. I'm like, ugh, I want to brush my teeth. I don't have water to brush my teeth. It's so uncomfortable. But I'm going to take a quick break, and when I come back, I will be channeling Prime Creator for you. He and I have been having conversations since I read that chapter in the Life and Teachings of the Masters of the Far East book yesterday, because I'm tired of chasing after poverty and health and chasing after all this stuff. I just feel like it's time for me just to settle back and know that I am God and be one with my Creator completely, the way Jesus was, when he became the Christ. And we can all do that. And I really feel like if we do that, we won't have to worry anymore. I don't want to have to chase money. I'd rather just, have it appear in a pile in my room, and I could go out and hand it out to people from Venezuela, all the refugees outside that I wish I could help, because they're the sweetest people in the world. And some people have taken to crime to feed their families because they're desperate, I would love to be able to be like, here's a pile of money, guy. Here, woman, take this for your kids, Just, I'm going to give it to you because I can, Like loaves and fishes. Here's your money, bitches. I would love to do that. I don't know. I don't know if God will let me do that, but whatever God allows, I will go for. I've been working for God since 2007, and I joined up with God. Literally, I just said, I'm taking the mantle. Use me as an instrument of your will, the way you want. And he did. He killed off my husband and gave me a 10-year retirement, which is over now. Is temporary benefits to raise the kids. And took the kids. We've lived in 6 different countries, going around everywhere. And God just told me who to heal, where to go. God would tell me to go somewhere. I'd go somewhere, and dogs would line up in Peru and just wait for me one by one to heal them each. I've had a really freaky life since I did this. My life has gotten really wild and really cosmic, and I have become the Heyoka lightning shaman I was always meant to be. So one of those things is channeling people, beings, ascended masters, God. I channel deity, and I'm going to do that again for you tonight, right after this message. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's high time you did. It is the absolute easiest way to make a podcast. First of all, it's absolutely free. Second of all, they have creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or your computer. You guys have known that I've been doing this for 8 months using the Anchor.fm app right on my cell phone, and I have done it everywhere, right? I have recorded this in my living room, my bedroom, little cafes in Quito, Ecuador, all over Cuenca. It's so absolutely easy to make your podcast, and editing is just a snap. Anchor also will distribute your podcast for you, and it took me about 2.5 months to become syndicated, and now I'm available on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and many more, and so can you. You can make money from your podcast also, and there's no minimum requirement. You get paid from your very first listener. It is everything that you need to make a podcast all in one place. So please, if you are interested in making a podcast of your very own, do not hesitate to start with Anchor. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started today. All right, guys. So if you are brand new to my show and you have not heard me channel before, I'm going to tell you that I am an indirect telepathic channel. There are indirect and direct channels, and a direct channeler is somebody who pulls in spirit. Their spirit steps aside, and the energy that they're channeling, whether it's an interdimensional, extra-dimensional, ET, ascended master, or whoever, dead relative, your dear old Aunt Tilly, whoever it is, will come in and take over the body of the person. Sometimes their mannerisms and voice will change, and they just have zero recollection of what happened when they come back, when they come back into their body. Now, as a Virgo, I don't want anyone to take over my body. I barely want to be here myself. So I don't do that. Although I have, during channelings, I have had spirits try to take over my body. And it happened with the Arcturians a couple months ago, which kind of freaked me out. Made me a little bit not trusting them. And I think because they do take over the body of so many people when they channel, that maybe they just forgot. So I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt, of course. But it's just one of those things that I just can't yet. Maybe someday. Maybe I will be okay with it, but, give me a break. Just take over my body, do whatever, Actually, a dear friend of mine, he died last year. He was suffering from multiple personality disorder, and one of his alter egos took over and dressed him in his alter was a woman, so she dressed in a hot pink wig and go-go boots and a little tiny mini skirt. She looked all hot, and she said she's going to do a bunch of drugs, and said something like, "Later, bitches." And that was his last post on Facebook, and she killed him with heroin that night. So I just don't want anyone taking over my body. I don't like anything taking over my body. I just, Pedro Pablo Ortega was my friend, and he was from Puerto Rico. I don't think anyone even called his mom, just one of those things. If you know him, or probably don't, but he was an artist and a musician and overall cool person, suffered from a lot of mental disorders, but one of the coolest people I ever met. He was also a fellow writer like me, and wildly spiritual and amazing. And I've been thinking about him lately a lot, so hopefully he's thinking about me. Hopefully he's in heaven and doesn't have all his alter egos anymore, that he's unified in and of himself. But some of you needed to hear that. I don't know which one of you needed to hear that, but actually I think I do know which one of you needed to hear that, and you know who you are. So anyway, I love you very much. and she also suffering from MPD. Just, I try to get the altars under control. Just send them all love, That's the only thing I could think of right now. But anyway, it's like we're all multidimensional, and people that have multiple personality disorder, that's even worse, It's like you're even more fragmented, but we're all multidimensional. And so one of the things that I do is I channel. I started channeling last year. And I've been channeling, for, 20-something years. And the first time it happened, I channeled for my husband. I channeled his spiritual master. And someone had given my husband a little tiny statue of a little Chinese guy. And he's like, what's this? He's like, and this person says, I don't know. The freakiest thing happened. I saw it and I thought of you and I couldn't stop thinking about you. And I knew this was yours and I had to buy it for you. And so when I moved in with him, when we first got together, right before we married and had our 13-year-long adventure together with having our children and everything, we're just new to each other, like 6 months or something. We were living together and he said, yeah, this is my master. I'm like, really? Is he famous? Because, who is this little guy? He's like, this is the statue of Master Po. And no, he's not famous. Nobody knows who he is. He lived thousands of years ago. And he came to me during meditation. He's my little master. So and he's from China. And so I immediately felt the presence of him. I'm like, he wants to talk to you. So here we go. And I channeled for the first time ever. I'm like, so here's your master. He wants to talk to you. So every now and again, his master would channel through me to tell him, I've been trying to get in touch with you. Why didn't you know what was happening? Those kinds of things. I'm just kidding. Not really. Not that bad. But I have a message for you. Why don't you listen? So I've been doing it for a while, but only publicly since last year. And I've done this almost, I think, every week since last year. So yeah, there it is. For about 18 months now, I've done this every week. And what I do is I indirectly, I telepath. But when the person has a specific rhythm or cadence or voice, I will channel them to the best of my ability the way that they're coming across, usually. Like sometimes there's an accent, sometimes there's a way that they speak, like Captain Kirk talks a little bit like this, But I don't normally talk like that, so that's what I mean. The rhythm and cadence might change, but the person is not taking over my body. But sometimes I do have a little bit of amnesia because I'm so intensely focused and concentrated on what the person is saying, and I'm relaying it to you guys that I don't even know what I'm saying some of the time. I like I'm not aware of it. Later, I'll go back and listen to the recording, and I'm like, whoa, that's like really good advice. Oh man, that's awesome. I didn't remember saying that. That's crazy. Because I'm not the one saying it. It's the person saying it through me. So I usually get extremely hot, like a lot of energy starts pouring through me as I start to channel. And I started to feel hot. Now I'm like, when I took off my shirt, I have a tank top underneath. Now I might have to put my shirt back on because now I'm getting cold. But the minute I start channeling, I'll get hot again. It's a lot of energy fluctuations that happen during this time. I do want you guys to know that as I'm channeling Prime Creator, he's the creator of the universe, of all of us, of everything. He is the still small voice inside your heart. If you listen, he's there. And this is like, when I say God, I don't mean the, angry, mean, narcissistic, petty, jealous God of the Bible. That is not Prime Creator. Prime Creator is the one who created us all and has complete and total tolerance and love for that which is himself, which is us. So I've already touched my third eye and said ki a sha 3 times. If you ever want to open up your third eye and open yourself up to psychic visions or insights of a nature in which they show up as visual or sometimes movies or seen into the future, sometimes that can be facilitated with this ki a sha, where you just touch your third eye and you say that 3 times. Ki a sha, ki a sha, ki a sha. And this is coming from the Pleiadians. I heard about this last year and I started using it and it worked. So I pass along good information when it comes to me. So anyway, now I'm going to put my shirt back on. I'm feeling cold, so hold on. and then when I get right back on here, I'm going to start channeling Prime Creator, who I'm already connected to, because I always, since 2007, have been completely and totally connected with God since then. Alrighty then. So we're all connected to God. I didn't want you to think that I meant that you're not. We're all connected to God, but I'm connected to God in a way in which I am consciously connected, and you can too. It's extremely hard to do, though. This is what you do. You say, hey, God, I'd like to be connected to you. Ha! Not hard at all. It's actually very easy. That's all you have to do. That's all you have to say. Hey, God, I'd like to be connected with you. Help me hear your still small voice inside my heart. That's it. Boom. Done. Keep asking. Squeaky wheels get the grease. That's what I always say. Keep asking. Ask. Hey, God. Hey, God. Hey, God. Don't wait to have a relationship with God until after you die. I mean, don't worship God and then die and stare into the face of God forever like my mom did for 6 years. That's not a real relationship. Imagine how creepy that would be. That'd be creepy as fuck. Being in a relationship, a love relationship with somebody that wouldn't stop talking about you, but never had a conversation with you. And then when they were alone with you, they just stared at you and never spoke to you. Like, who would want a relationship like that? Makes no damn sense. But anyway, not to disrespect my mom, but that always bothered me about her. I have a relationship with God, because I do. I did not until 2007 the way that I do now. And now it's even stronger. I wake up every day and, oh, good morning, God, I love you. Hey, any insights for me? Will you help me with this thing? I need help with this idea, So you can have a relationship with God like this as well. So I wanted to bring that up before we get into the channeling, which is not going to be very long. It's going to be about a half hour, he told me. He says, and maybe 36 minutes if we run over, because we usually do. Yeah, I agree. All right, so let's go. All right, God, am I connected to you? Muscle testing, of course, says yes. I'm clearing my vessel by breathing. Pulling in white light now. Clearing out my chakras and aura. Alright. I do have downloads, light codes, and upgrades that come through my voice, especially when I'm channeling Prime Creator more so. So you might feel sensations in your body as well while we are doing this and you're listening to this. And I can sometimes feel you listening to this in the future. And I can feel what a lot of you are going through as I'm channeling God. It's really fun. Multidimensionality. All right. You should try it sometime. Just kidding. You are multidimensional. We are all the same. We're all equal in the eyes of God and created equally. So you are just as multidimensional as me. You have the same abilities as I do. I've just honed them. That's the only difference between us. So just want to let you know that you have the ability also to channel God. All right, so here we go. You may begin transmission now. Yes, greetings. It is I, your prime creator. I am the I am that I am. I am sure you have heard that in the Bible, but that is one interpretation of me. But I am the all. I am the all of the all. The all-seeing eye of all. I can say easily that I see each and every one of you, that I know each and every one of you because I am each and every one of you. You are me, I am you. We are we. And sometimes when I say we, I mean Divine Mother and I. We are like your cosmic parents, if you want to look at it that way. But today our purpose is to have a conversation about all that you've been learning in the life and teaching of the Masters of the Far East books, basically. You're starting to say something else, but he says, yes, we were going to call it the Master Teaching and Training books. All right, is there a book called that? He says, no, but really? He says, I'm going to write it. All right. I hope I remember this later. Yeah. He says, well, you will when you're meant to. Great. All right, awesome. All right. Yeah, that's a really good idea. We can talk about that later, though, right? Yeah, all right. So, sorry about that, guys. He's giving me insights and ideas for my next endeavor. But anyway, this is for the collective. We're going to channel for all of everybody, right? He says, yes, but it's relevant because we want you to know that we're always sending you training. We're always sending you instruction. We're always sending you people who are open to our energy that become spiritual masters and enlightened beings. And those who become ascended masters are here to help humanity. And we send people that are going to help you over and over and over and over again. And it's necessary because of the stubborn human spirit that just won't let in the positive white light energy of these things of which we're saying that will bring you the greatest amount of peace and clarity and the most amount of abundance and the most amount of joy and happiness. And it hurts our heart to see so many people suffering in ignorance and fear. And a lot of people are afraid to death, literally afraid until their death. And we're grateful for the opportunity to have a platform openly to all of you, because those of you who are ready to listen and are open to it, you're going to hear all those things that you need to hear in order to be where you want to be, spiritually speaking, which is speaking spiritually free. And I forgot to mention, sometimes God talks in rhymes and riddles and like a sing-songy, poetic, lyrical voice to get you to open your mind, catch you off guard so that you're more receptive. All right. He also wanted me to tell you that. That's like the aside note. All right. So what do we do? I had to adjust my bandana, so I had to pause that for a second. Okay. All right. So, you want to be a millionaire. You want to be an enlightened being. You want to be an ascended master. You want to be so spiritual that you are drinking and imbibing from the energy of the Holy of Holies every day of your life. Was that not so? Was that not why you are here? We want you to know that we will shift and change and move your life and rearrange everything in your world until you have everything that you need to have in order to be the ultimate person that you can be. And you guys, there's like a I don't even know how to explain this. Almost like a crypto codex. God just showed me, like, as if I am a crypto codex, like, not cryptocurrency, but like, what is that movie with the? Okay, yeah, thank you. God told me the Da Vinci Code. You know, where he had that. I used to have one of these, where you have to turn the tumblers and then you can open it and then you could get to the note or the thing that's inside. You know, you have to do a series of calculations, or you have to understand, it's kind of like a Rubik's Cube, but with a chamber inside, and it's like all long, and he just showed me this energy of this visual of it, and he just showed me things are sliding around in the areas of my chakras and being manipulated by the one true creator. As we grow and spiritually learn, it's almost like we are a jumbled up, messed up Rubik's Cube, and God is putting us right so that everything is equal and balanced on all sides. And God's like saying, yeah, it's kind of funny. Like, he's like, yeah, let me manipulate you like you're a Rubik's Cube, but I'm making you perfect again. And it's like the Rubik's Cube, when you first buy it, it comes pre-packaged perfect. And then you jumble it up. And then you spend, if you're me, the rest of your fucking life trying to figure this thing out that never goes back to the way it's supposed to be. I remember when my little brother was, he and I both got Rubik's Cubes for Christmas when that was a brand new thing. And he ended up just taking his apart and putting it back together. My parents were so impressed at how smart he was. You know, and then when they found out that they took it apart and put it back together, at first they were like, "Ah, well, you didn't actually figure it out. You didn't actually solve it." And then my dad's like, "Yeah, he did. Actually, he did. He solved it in a way that no one else thought. He was thinking outside the box. There's nothing wrong with that." Then we're all kinds of proud of him all over again. So, all right, God. He says exactly the point. There are always ways to solve the code from without. And there's always ways to solve the code from within. And I prefer the method of working with you. I am the without, and I'm also the within. You are, if you wanted to look at yourself as a puzzle or a codex, all you need to do is manipulate the matter and the energy around you in order to become whole again, or to become open. In the case of my sending the visualization of a codex, it is a chamber that is closed with secrets inside that yet have not been unlocked. And as you shake and change the tumblers around, you unlock it just a little bit each time. And once you get to the final code and you figure that out, then the chamber opens and the sunlight can come in. And that was the energy, exactly the energy I was trying to send. This is how, when you ask from within and I work from without, and yet I am the within, I have all the pieces of the code. But you have to be the one to figure out which direction you're going to spin that codex. Which way are you going to manipulate that Rubik's Cube? What puzzle piece are you going to choose to place in that puzzle today? But if we work together and you allow it, you can become enlightened in a way that you just focus and visualize yourself leaning back into literally the light. When you focus on your third eye, when you meditate, you see the light that fills your body. This energy, if you allow it to expand in each individual cell, and then you ask it or you tell it what it is that you need. God within me, I would like friends that are true and genuine and pure hearted. God within me, I am lonely, would like a companion. And when you decide to work with Prime Creator, I, as your Prime Creator, will move heaven and earth to be the master manipulator of your life. And we don't mean manipulation in a bad way here. We will arrange and move heaven and earth, space and time, to bring you to a state of grace in which you can be receptive of that change that you seek. The new friendships, the new love, the abundance of money, surplus of friends, the connection and unity with all, the enlightened insights that you seek as a spiritual master in training. Smit. Smitty. Yeah, you could call Smitties. That's it. Smits. Spiritual master in training. He says, and I like that because now I have realized that I am smitten with you. That's incredibly sweet. He says, yes, I thought so. So, all right. How do you do this? How do you do this thing? How do you bring your attention to each individual cell when you're not even aware of each individual cell? Well, you might want to start with the cells of your right thumb or the cells of your left temple. It doesn't really matter. If you can imagine that your body is a collection of cells and every cell has consciousness, oh yes, every cell has consciousness. And you can imagine that you're speaking from your conscious mind to the conscious energy inside each individual cell. And you could say whatever you like, but may I suggest it be positive? And it will respond in kind to the positivity, the God within me, as many of you have said and written over the years. Okay. You are almighty and powerful. You are whole and holy. You are not always aware of that because it is what you chose to come here with a veil. Many of you feel sadness at this thought. Why would you do such a dumb thing? But the greatest test that I could have given myself is to send myself out into the world and then forget myself and see if I make it back to myself. In a way, you might say that God does have multiple personality disorder. In a way, that's exactly what's happening. But I know myself, but not all of myselves know me. But many of you are trying, and you're trying to get back. So it's not as hard as you imagine, and this is why there are not more enlightened masters. Everyone thinks everything is so complicated, and they make it worse, more complicated. But all you need to do is connect to the God inside you and ask. Just ask. Ask for that which you want, what you seek. If you imagine yourself standing at the precipice of the ocean of all possibilities, and you just walk one step forward, now your feet are wet. You walk a few more steps forward, and now you're in up to your legs, your mid legs, and then you keep going into the energy, and you are in over your middle, and eventually you're in over your head. And that's when you have driven, what is this word? This is the time in which you have doven. He's saying doven, but it's not a word, but he says there's a reason for it. Okay, so when you have dived, driven, I don't know, gone into, doven in to the sea of all possibility and the energy of all that is me as Prime Creator, without the judgments and without the separation, without the veil of Isis, when you are able to dive into the sea of yourself, you realize that you are the dreamer and the dream, which is a quote most of you have already heard. But when you realize that you are the dream weaver of the fabric of space and time itself, and you start to take on a greater attitude towards your role, when you assume true responsibility for your own life and your own actions, and when you start to assume responsibility for all of those that come into your energy field, and you start to pray for everybody, that is like dipping your toes in the water and the sea. That is me. That is we and us. When you start to surrender fully, you are able to drop your outer shell of who you were presenting to the world. You can reinvent yourself at any time. You are able, of course, to be who you wish to be, but if you want to get out of the things that were mentioned in the book, sinlessness, poverty, hunger, homelessness, all those things, you have to accept me fully inside you. You have to accept that you and I are the same. You have to love yourself unconditionally. You have to love others unconditionally. You have to love your, what are you saying? I hear surroundings, but that's not it. I'm seeing kind of like a flying saucer, and I think it's another metaphor. I want to get back to the other thought, though. Okay, he says, let's just go on to the next thing. Okay, so sometimes when people are ignorant and they see an object in the sky, at first they think, oh, look, it's the moon. The moon's out tonight. And then as people have gotten sophisticated, they realize, well, maybe it's a new moon, so the moon is not out there tonight, but that might be a UFO from another world because we don't have that technology yet. And you see the level of sophistication in these ideas. A light in the sky equals the moon, and you never look up again. Versus you think that might be, our beloved cousins from outer space hopping by for a visit. And in many cases, that's exactly what's going on, by the way, with the UFOs and the ET phenomena. He says they're not trying to be your pesky neighbors. A lot of them consider you to be family and relatives, these ETs that are surrounding the Earth, especially in the light ships that are very peaceful and just putting on pretty light shows all over the world. They are at this time just trying to help raise the vibration of humanity as well. But the level of sophistication that you are at depends on, well, basically where you're at. So some of you are standing on the shore getting ready to walk in, and some of you are already waist deep in the sea of consciousness. But it depends on how much you're willing to accept. Do you renounce poverty in all of its ways? Do you renounce the idea that you're a sinner? That you could go against yourself so strongly that you're now quote unquote evil? We're letting that one sink in. That one takes a while. You hear the word God and automatically think you're a sinner. Everyone around you is a sinner. Everyone's evil. But what you realize not in many cases is that these are manipulated words meant to control you. These are not the reality. We wish to connect and join with you and come back to your unified whole self. You have to allow in the field of all possibilities that this is the case. You have to come back home. And we don't mean that in the way that you have to die. You don't have to. You can get here now. You can have a relationship with the divine now. I mean, everybody has a relationship with the divine. It's just that a lot of you have a dysfunctional relationship because it's one-sided. Whereas I'm the one loving you. A lot of you don't believe I exist, or you don't love me because you don't understand that I am the same as you. Some of you are really burned by religion. And he's showing me that some people have burned churches because they were burned by religion. And he says he's not condoning the behavior, but he's saying it's ironic that people feel burned by that which was supposedly going to give them a relationship with God. But the problem is the churches want you to go to church, so they're your liaison between God and yourself. They're the ones that are the middleman. And if you do this, you lean back into the field of all possibilities and you become as a deep diver into the cosmic flow and the cosmic consciousness of life. Then you don't really need the middleman anymore. So this is like the broken healthcare system where the doctors give you medicine that causes the thing that you're complaining about to be fixed, but the medicine has side effects. So you have to come back and keep coming back for more and more medicine to combat those side effects and other side effects and other side effects. Doctors are the middleman between you and perfect health, if you allow that. You have always been in perfect health. We're not talking about your outer shell, your physical body. You, the soul of you, you are in perfect health. You are in perfect wealth. You want for nothing. You lack nothing. You have everything. You are everything because you come from the everything. Also known as the know nothing. You know why? Because I'm everything. I am everything. You are me. I am you. We are we, and we are everything. Together we are everything. We wish for you to let these thoughts sink in. If you have to listen to this message 2 or 3 times, then so be it. We are talking to on multidimensional levels right now, not just physically through your ears. As you receive this, the more that you decide that you can receive this message, when you allow yourself to receive this message on other levels, the other levels will be healed, and they will yield much more positive results if you allow for that healing. Everything in your world can be healed. Even the balance in your bank account, as it were. And the low balance in your mental bank account, the self-esteem and confidence issues. You would be pretty darn confident, wouldn't you, if you knew the power of who you truly are. You are divine royalty. Some of you are thinking those words, I am divine royalty. You are not required to carry that energy or believe it or say it. But a lot of you secretly believe that. But you have to be careful at which he's showing me a metaphor of a pizza, so I'm trying to figure that one out. So, all right, we're just going to flow with that one. Okay. So he's showing me what the idea of, what are you going to choose for yourself? Like, what if you got a cosmic pizza and it was going to be delivered and it was created by God, and there's a giant surface, it's a huge pizza, And you can put everything that is good for you on that pizza, everything in the world. And you're going to order this pizza, and it's going to be unlimited because it's so big. And it will never go bad, and it will never become stale, and it will never grow mold. And if you want, it will never lose its temperature. It could always stay warm. That might be one of your choices. You sit down to a table with pizza like that on it. You eat until you are full, and you walk away from the table. When you come back, the pizza has regenerated itself. That's a possibility, because you live in a realm and a field of all possibilities. So that is a possibility. Or you can choose to get a little tiny pizza from your seemingly beneficial neighbor. Maybe your neighbor will say, hey, this is an artisanal pizza. So you order the pizza, and $5 later, $5 lighter, you take this little pizza into your home and you eat all 4 pieces. And how much enlightenment did you get from your neighbor, who maybe was thinking about her religion while she's making the pizza? And why would this pizza be? He's saying better, like, why would it be better to take a little bit of information from your neighbor that's over in just one small sitting, the knowledge of which might actually put you to sleep, Most people choose the small pizza from the neighbor. Most people choose the religious route. But when you choose the cosmic pizza route, you don't have to wait for a delivery time, because it's already there. It's already been delivered. It's already been waiting for you to claim it right there in your energy field of all possibilities. Of course, this is metaphor, but if you really needed to eat, once you become an ascended, enlightened master, you could create pizza any day or night of the week. And it will never grow bad or grow stale or old, right? So think about this, liken this to the cosmic knowledge that's available. Okay, he's showing me now a family reuniting with each other. Running into each other randomly. He's showing me like a mother and a daughter hugging each other, and that radiating happiness, that is the energy he wishes to convey to you guys right now. He says yes, because we can meet at the level of mind, but it's only going to be now I'm getting weird images that are a little bit different. It's like a man dead on the sidewalk in a business suit that just did everything he was told, but it was wrong, because obviously. Alright, so just like the pizza from a neighbor who doesn't know better, who lives in ignorance and fear, and prays to a cross on her wall, or 2 rosary beads in her hand without understanding where those prayers should really truly be directed towards. Where will where will you get your enlightenment? Are you going to take it from ignorant people, or are you going to go to the source of all things? So we are inviting you to go to the source of all things. So he's just showing me this picture. He showed me the proverbial Japanese businessman. And he had, it's not a real person, okay, but he showed me a Japanese businessman laying on the sidewalk, like just died of a heart attack, just boom, laid out, dead on the sidewalk. And he says that's what the lifestyle is that can get you just a lot of nothing. You have a nice suit, but now you're still dead. You've got nice shoes, but you can't walk anymore. You're dead. You've got, and he showed me on this guy's lapel, he has a bunch of accolades, salesman of the year type of accolades, and business associations and relationships with other people through associations. And so what God's trying to tell me, or to tell you guys, is that if you stop looking to the world to give you validation through associations or dumb rewards like salesperson of the year. And he says, and if you've done that, good, congratulations, actually. But that's not going to get you the ultimate of everything. So you have to decide whether you turn your energy outward or you turn your energy inward. And when you turn your energy inward, start with the sea of possibilities metaphor. Dip your toes in by loving yourself. Dip your ankles in by loving yourself and healing and asking for forgiveness, asking for healing, forgiving yourself, and then letting all of it go. And by the time you're fully dove into the sea of all possibility, by the time you have fully awakened to who you are truly within, when you have grabbed onto the cosmic pizza, that will never grow stale. They'll always be perpetually new and fresh. Have a different flavor every bite you take. That's what we're offering, is the cosmic pizza. And it's free. $3 delivery. And that's a play on words because of the Holy Trinity 3. Yeah. For those of you who came from a religious background, you're probably laughing right now. Okay, so it's just what we want to offer you. So just ask, keep asking, and go into the silence. Stand tall, knowing that you've got the backing of the Lord God, creator of all the cosmos, at your back. Stop shrinking yourself. Stop shoving yourself into a business suit and hoping it's going to turn out okay. You can do that life, that's okay. But understand that you are so much greater than what you imagine yourself to be. You are greater than your business suit. You're greater than your business tie. You're greater than your associations. You're greater than an award that you got this year for doing a behavior that helps somebody else, get somewhere better than where you are at. You're better than the accolades. You're better than your degrees. You're better than all of the things that you tell yourself you are, to build yourself up and puff yourself up. And you don't need to go into your ego. You need to fall back and realize you are everything, and everything is you. We've said this before many times. In fact, there's a whole song about it. You are everything, and everything is you. That song. You know that song. Speaking of the 70s, he's saying, yeah, I think it was from the 70s. So, you're more than the collection of your experiences in this life. You're more than the collection of your lifetimes on this planet. You're more than all of the people you have been on all the planets that you've been on. You're more than all the dimensions you've lived in. When you lean back onto the field of all possibilities that you are, when you sit in silence and just allow the light to come, and you stop labeling yourself, which puts yourself into a pizza box or a coffin box or a social, box. Check out our new proprietary box. This is the one. You're going to love fitting into this one. Stepford Wife Box Company. Acme Elevator Company, step into this box. What we're asking you is to step outside all the boxes. Stop labeling yourself. Good, bad, or indifferent. Just be. You are a human being, not a human doing. To be enlightened, you must be. There's your clues this time. We will come back and talk about these on another day. The cosmic codes are in the voice of Elena during this time. You will begin the upgrades, and you're going to get your own insights through these words. And your own metaphors will come. And you are well on your way to spiritual enlightenment if you just dare step outside the box. I am your prime creator, and it has been a pleasure to discuss these ideas, these big and lofty ideas with you this evening. I love you with all of the field of possibilities. End transmission. All right, well, guys, we did go a little bit over. And part of the way through, he says it's going to be 42 minutes that I'm talking, not like, yeah, it is. And it has been. Actually, it's been exactly 42 minutes since I looked, and I think I started at 12 minutes in, so. Yeah, that's cool. I like this cosmic pizza, baby. Grab the cosmic pizza, think outside the box. That's a t-shirt. Dude, I'm going to make that a t-shirt. I hope I remember that I just said I was going to make that t-shirt. So, well, there you have it. There you have it. I love each and every one of you, and I thank you for being my listeners, and for being my listener, because I can't have a radio show without listeners. Can't have a podcast without listeners. So thank you for being here. And for those of you who have liked and subscribed and favorited and forwarded and shared and told everybody in your Facebook groups and your Twitter, I want to thank you for that. And for those of you who have not done that yet, if you could take 5 minutes out of your day sometime this week, that would be really helpful for me, because I would like to make a real good, decent living with my podcast. And also, obviously, the reason I started it is to discuss the ideas that are always in my mind with my Virgo ways of overthinking. I've been interested in metaphysics and God and all of this since forever, since I was born. I was literally born to be this, doing this show. Like, literally, it all led up to this. So I would like to be able to make a living at this so I could keep bringing you guys the best information. So thank you for sharing and telling everybody you know about the show. Just say, hey, Metaphysical Soul Speak the podcast. You got to hear it. You got to hear it, And hopefully people will resonate with it. The ones that are meant to hear me will hear me. And you're here because you're meant to be here. And I'm here because I'm meant to be here to help you as well. I'm glad we're all here. We're in it together. We're in it to win it. Soul family, soul tribe. Those are my hashtags that I use. Or you could even look up hashtag metaphysical soul speak on Instagram. But my Instagram is at mermaidgirl888. So you can contact me if you need to get in touch with me for any reason. If you have any questions or comments or anything that you are unclear on, let me know. But that's it. I'll be back tomorrow with all unique and original programming, just like always. But for now, I'm signing off with peace and joy and the high vibes of the holy fifth dimension. Till next time, guys. Peace. Metaphysical Soul Speak is run on sponsors and listener support. This means listeners like you. If you are so inclined to support my efforts and my little podcast, please visit me at anchor.fm/metaphysical and pledge an amount of your choosing today. Thank you.